There's a roar sound coming through the forest. It's about to hit. My friends, I want to welcome you all to Lone Wolf Mountain. It is currently a little bit after 11 o'clock p.m. and I just made it out here. It is very foggy tonight, very wet, and that's because it's been raining and storming all day long. As you may know, recently here on the channel, I've been testing out some pop-up tents. I love pop-up tents, but unfortunately, 99% of the pop-up tents that are out on the market today, they're junk. Finding a good quality waterproof pop-up tent, that is difficult. Now, everyone, the other day I was contacted by Terry, he's a viewer. Terry told me about a pop-up tent offered by Decathlon. I went to the Decathlon website, saw the tent, and it looks promising. I went ahead, I purchased it. It arrived today, and now I'm at Lone Wolf Mountain. There are some big storms on the way for the morning, so I figured we would come out here to Lone Wolf Mountain, set up the tent, stay the night, and let's see what happens. Folks, thank you so much for joining me for this trip. We'll do some more talking here in a little bit. Let's set up the tent and get ready for the night. I just got the tent set up, everyone, and that was a very easy to do process. I have to say, this is the most unique pop-up tent I have ever seen. It is truly different. The tent is all set up and I'm pretty much ready for bed with the exception of one thing. I need to set up a tarp real quick so that we have a dry, protected place for tomorrow morning. As soon as I get that set up, we'll talk a little bit more about this tent and the weather that's coming in. As you all can see behind me here, I have the tarp set up, and that means it is time for bed. Folks, I cannot wait to see the storms that make it through. Hopefully some do. All that I know is that we're gonna have a good night, and in the morning, we'll have some good coffee and a good breakfast. And at the same time, we will be testing out some interesting gear. Speaking of which, this tent here is without a doubt very interesting. This tent has 2 side vents with covers. That means that you can leave them open even when it's raining. That's different. Decathlon states that you can set this up in 2 seconds, and that's completely not true. I mean, it doesn't take long to set it up, but it's not 2 seconds. Anyways, everyone, ultimately I will do a preview and a review on this tent, so I'll talk more about it in detail later on. For now, folks, it's time for bed. As you can see there, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. That means it is definitely time for bed. Inside of this tent here, it is very hot, very stuffy, at the same time very humid. You can see how poor the ventilation is by the camera. It's all fogged up. I do have the fan going, that's gonna help. Before I go to bed though, check out these storms. This is what is coming our way. It is those storms that are coming towards us, and they will be here by morning. Hopefully. You never know. It might rain, it might not. We'll just have to wait and see. All that I know, everyone, is that we're inside of the decathlon tent. It is super hot inside of this. Very humid. I'm going to bed. Everyone, I will see you all in the morning. Let it rain, let it rain. Oh, man. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. As far as the time goes, it's about 7:30. I slept in a little bit because the storm is on its way, but it's not here yet. It should be here in about 25-30 minutes. Already we're hearing thunder. It is almost go time, folks. As for the decathlon tent, I don't like this shelter. First off, inside of the tent, it smells like a bag of garbage for some reason. 2, the ventilation inside of this thing is awful. I mean, really, really bad. I would say this is more of like a wintertime tent than a summertime tent. There's just a little bit of mesh and that's it. It's surprising, folks, at how poorly this is designed on the inside. Everything else looks to be pretty good. The quality seems good. This is the fresh and black model, which basically means that it's like extra dark on the inside. For some reason, this company, Decathlon, is really, really stuck on that. They really want to push that feature, and it's probably one of the most worthless features out there. I'm not sure why you would want to black out the light. I don't know how many people are sleeping the day away inside of this tent. All it does is hold in heat, limits ventilation, and adds quite a bit of weight to this tent. I'll tell you what, I need to get camp set up, and I might as well do that now. What do you all think are the odds that I miss the spout? Hit it that time. Usually, I miss. And here we go, everybody. It's beginning to rain now. Cheers. Now this, everyone, is a good cup of coffee. It's exactly what I need this morning. I slept good last night, but I had to wake up like every couple of hours to check the radar to make sure I didn't miss the storms that hopefully make it. We're not even sure if they will or not. That's the joys of storm chasing. I have storm chased my entire life, and this is oftentimes how it goes. Like, I'll pick a location, I'll pick a target, I'll take my best guess, and then I fight my way to get there. And hopefully things work out. You know what I mean? Sometimes they do, oftentimes they don't. That's kind of how it goes. I guess you could say in this episode we're storm chasing in a way. All of a sudden, everyone, it is getting very, very dark. Light rain is falling. I'm hearing thunder. It's right around the corner. This, everyone, is what we've been waiting for. For breakfast, biscuits and gravy. Oh yeah. I figured we better eat and talk while we still can before it gets too rowdy. Let me check that out. Look at it. Now respect it. That is the best biscuits and gravy in the entire world. I mean, it's amazing. Jalapeno, cheddar, biscuits, and herb. Sausage gravy. Folks, I don't think I've told you all, but a week ago, I had to go down to Florida for some business, and we were outside of Jacksonville, stopped in road construction, when a Ram 1500 truck rear-ended our van Packy. Luckily, the van only suffered just a little bit of damage to the door, while the truck was absolutely crunched up. It was a low-speed impact, less than like 10 miles an hour, and yet that truck was smashed all to pieces. We have one thunder cell that has developed behind us. That is going away from us. We have an entire wave coming this way that should be here anytime now. There's a lot of thunder at the moment. The guy in the truck that hit us, he had an interesting story. He stated that he was just out of it, he's been going through some things, and he stated that his wife just died. And I guess like they had kids together, but they weren't biologically his. So when she passed away, those kids went to the biological father. So in like the span of a week, he lost his entire family. I definitely feel sorry for him. Just finished breakfast, everyone, and it is pretty much go time. Rain is going to start in about 5 minutes, and it looks like it's going to be pretty heavy. Ultimately, we'll see what happens though, but hopefully it rains good enough to test out this tent to see whether or not it's waterproof. Let's see what happens, everybody. Cheers. Everyone, I can hear the rain coming. There's a roar sound coming through the forest. It's about to hit. Really, really windy. Let's go. Everybody, that storm was fantastic. So that was the first wave. There's another wave behind it that's coming this way. Since there's a break, we need to check on this tent. As far as the Decathlon tent goes, it did not leak. It is mostly dry on the inside with the exception of a ton of condensation. There is condensation on everything. I don't like this tent, folks. I do not think it's worth the money. Not for summertime use. If you want to use this in the fall in cooler conditions, I think it will make more sense, but for summertime use, I would not recommend this at all. I do plan to do a preview review of this, basically going over my thoughts, my feelings, going into more detail, and putting out a warning. You know, people don't need to be purchasing this tent for summertime use. When it gets cool again, I'll begin testing this out, and we'll go from there. But the tent is waterproof, but ventilation sucks in this tent. condensation is a real problem. The design is interesting, but I'm not really sure if it makes sense. It is time for this adventure to come to an end. Everyone, thank you so much for joining me for this trip. I really do appreciate it. This was a ton of fun. I am so disappointed in this tent here. I mean, it's waterproof, but being waterproof is not everything. Very, very weird. It is time to wrap up this adventure and say goodbye. We have accomplished our goals. We did some storm chasing, and we got that one right. We planned that perfectly. With the tent here, I'm disappointed. I don't like it. Don't buy it. That was interesting. It is interesting. If you enjoyed this episode, hit the thumbs up before you go. I do appreciate it. Also, make sure to check out my second YouTube channel, A Quiet Place Adventures. Oh yeah. With that channel there, it's nothing but adventures. That's it. I want to wish you all well, strength and honor. I will see you soon.